It's right near that threshold already. And here are the outer bands that are going to get to the Hawaiian Islands, at least the Big Island, late tonight or tomorrow morning. And then, as this makes the turn, then it's going to be moving the ocean around. And so you're going to have the south-facing shores and the west-facing shores that are usually windward, usually leeward sides that don't get the strong trade winds. You're going to get significant winds and onshore flow and heavy rains, but also the surf and the waves and the storm surge might not just be dangerous at the beach or in the water, but the surf could crash onto land, onto and into structures and cause damage to the structures just by the waves. So, and that's in addition to the rainfall you've been talking about, Mike. I'm really worried about the flooding due to the heavy rainfall. So water might be the most destructive, potentially life-threatening aspect, even though people tend to focus on the wind.
It's a scary hurricane. There's no question about it. We just got the latest advisory, Dr. Knapp, at 2 o'clock Honolulu time. No changes. So still 155.
Yeah, the pressure has gone down more than 10 millibars, though. That's significant, and the pressure might be leading the wind.
Yeah, I was going to say, does that mean you think in the next update could we be looking at a Category 5 hurricane?
Possibly, but you know what? I hate to say that it doesn't matter that much, but
it really doesn't.
What really is the difference between the highest end Cat 4 and the lowest end Cat 5?
The difference is it gets people's attention.
It does, but if you're not paying attention to a high end Cat 4,
right.
But yes, it would be very attention getting to say Cat 5.
Not that today hasn't. I think Hawaiians have looked at the storm today and said, this is a different beast than it was yesterday.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. It's stronger than we thought it would be.
Yeah. And John Bravender, you've been watching this there from the Central Pacific Hurricane Center. This one is obviously all eyes on it. And Dr. Knapp just mentioned, for some areas it'll be their typical weather, maybe on steroids. And for other locations, they could be looking at weather that they don't typically experience.
That's right. The heavy rain threat in particular, we're used to a lot of rain. The islands can handle significant amounts of rain, but the sheer amount and the rates that were potential with Lane are very likely to cause a lot of problems.
Let's talk about the coastal problems. Which areas are you most concerned about and talking about with the emergency managers that could flood due to the salt water coming on normally dry ground, or could experience actually damaging surf conditions, the waves crashing onto land?
A lot of the references you're making before to the South Shores, we saw some inundation problems and run up from surf, even with Hector passing far south of the state. Those are areas of particular concern with Lane making an even closer approach. And then on top of that, the heavy rain potential and any debris associated with the strong winds exacerbating the flooding problems.
And John, what about those very sensitive south-facing areas of Oahu where you have so much infrastructure, port, airport, Pearl Harbor, and so much of the population? What about the coastal issues there in Waikiki, for example?
Yeah, that's a big thing, especially with the shape of the South Shore of Oahu, causing more of a problem with storm surge as well, inundation, in addition to the surf, with the bulk of the state's population living in that stretch, in addition to the airport, the deep draft harbors. Those are main focus areas for that everybody's keeping an eye on, for sure.
At this point, John, are you basically just looking for every bit of information on this hurricane that you can, knowing what a beast it is, every satellite scan, every Hurricane Hunter recon flight?
Yeah, that's right. Tracking the recon as it comes in, looking at the eye drops with the pressure hitting that 930 millibar drop on. That's trying to pull in all the information, even looking at the radar, seeing how early we can see some rain bands coming in. Everybody's really staying up to date with all of this.
Yeah, there's a lot to watch, and it's something I know Dr. Knapp's doing here at Weather Channel headquarters, and you're doing as well. John, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we're going to be checking in with you in the days to come, but Dr. Knapp, this is a more unusual thing for Hawaii, but could be a real headline maker.
Yeah, I really, really hope folks aren't counting on it somehow missing like so many past storms and hurricanes have. This could be the most significant impact most people in Hawaii have dealt with in a long time, especially on Oahu, that's dodged many a bullet in the past.
If you have one bit of information for people in Hawaii, what would it be for them for the next 24 hours?
Prepare now, not just for the storm, but the potentially nasty and lengthy aftermath. They're serious when they say get 2 weeks of supplies.
So hopefully, if you haven't done it already, which I think a lot of people have, now's the time to act. Well, for all of us here at Weather Underground, thanks for watching.
Have a great night. Remember, together, we know more.